Good afternoon, lovely tubers. White Mexican back in. My deepest apologies. My computer pooped the bed, and I'm gonna have to make this market watch investment video a two-part. So moving on here, I was talking about Giant Trinade. Only 2 hollow prints as super rares. It's pretty crazy. There's 16 different reprints, and this card is really old. You know, dying from Magic Ruler, super ancient set, Generation 1. Spell Ruler, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, I've been trying to figure this out, but I'm pretty sure that Spell Ruler did not have first edition prints. I've yet to see any Spell Ruler cards that have any first editions. I know this obviously was the reprint set because they changed the name when they had the whole lawsuit with Magic and all that. And yeah, I'm just a fond believer that there's no such thing as a first edition Spell Ruler. Do you guys have any first edition Spell Ruler cards? Because I don't know. It's like the grand mystery here. It looks like my computer's still running super slow. I don't really know what the deal is. So I'm going to try to kind of save some time here. I don't really know what's going on. But going back here, so obviously I'm a much bigger fan of the older stuff with the Magic stamps and everything. So, and they actually have first edition in Magic Ruler over Spell Ruler. So really quickly, I want to take a look at the original OG prints and see if we can find some first editions. It looks like my computer is going to be running ridiculously archaic right now. I don't really know what's going on here. It's got to be my disk space. I need to clear out my disk space. It's like I like a megabyte, a gigabyte left or whatever, and it's tearing up my computer really bad. So I apologize. It's going to take kind of forever, but Hey Trinade, moving on here while that loads. So this is just the watered down version. It only does set cards. Pretty cool artwork, and this is a secret rare, which is really cool. This is the original print. Of course, there's a couple other prints here. First edition is going to be about 3 bones. I'm really surprised. This card's actually kind of pricey for what it is because no one really likes this card. No one plays this card. It's seen like little to no playability. And I think a big reason of that is because I wouldn't be surprised if Giant Trinade comes off the list relatively soon. I think it's about time. It's been banned forever, and it's been on and off the list before in the past. Again, I'm an adamant fan that everything comes back to 1 eventually. It all is just a matter of fact if it gets an errata or not, is my personal belief. First editions have gone up to a whopping $20. Now, this sounds kind of crazy. Hear me out, though. I still think this is pretty good. It's a lot of money. I'll admit, it's a lot of money, $20 for a super rare. But granted, it's a Generation 1 super rare. It's a band card, a really good band card, and has the Magic stamp and their first editions, and this is nostalgic Generation 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! We're talking about Magic Ruler, like the 3rd core set to be released here in the TCG. This has collector's value written all over it. So I would not be surprised if these 3 for 20 bones get swooped up pretty quick. They're near mint too. Now that's a little icing on the cake for you guys. They're not even lightly played. They are near mint. According to these sellers, they are near mint. So for a card that is this ancient to be first edition, original print, all that great stuff, I still think this is a fantastic price point for this card because this is going to go up. I know that this is going to go up. $20 sounds like a lot now. Wait till the future when this card goes way beyond 20, especially when it comes off the ban list. Moving on, Harpies Feather Duster. So everyone's been excited about this card. Of course, why wouldn't you? This is like the Regeki for Magic and Trap cards. We've had Regeki for quite a while now. Why can't we have Harpies Feather Duster? It does the same thing, except it just destroys back row. I really don't understand. There is this Tournament Pack 8 Super Rare, which is ungodly expensive for no reason. It's really ugly. I don't even like the artwork at all in this. This is just a collector's card because it's Tournament Pack, which is, Tournament Pack's pretty cool. It's just old. It's ancient. It's nostalgic. It's archaic. That's why it's so much money. And no one has it. The people that do have it, they just hoard it, and that's why it's so expensive. So, not really going to cover that. Don't really pay too much mind to that. But the Stairway to Destiny Duel, these are the prismatic secret rares. I guess you can call this prismatic. I don't even know if I can use that terminology. There's so many different runs of prints going on these days with the new prismatics and the old prismatics. And is this prismatic a prismatic or is it a parallel? And there's just so much shenanigans going on here in this day, this generation of Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm just going to call it prismatic for now, just for my own comfort. But this is my personal favorite print, and these have seen a major significant increase in value. For the longest time, no one believed this card was going to come off the ban list. Now, granted, it's been on the ban list for, I don't even know, 10 years now or something. It's been on the ban list forever, an ungodly amount of time, maybe even longer. But we're seeing it right here. It's like $16 to start off. This card was never this much money, but people are just really thinking like me. I'm totally on the train. The White Mexican is on the hype train that this is going to come off the ban list. And yeah, it goes to like 23, then 25. There's only 3 pages left of this, so it's kind of like, starting to not completely dry out of the market, but it's definitely getting there. Not a lot of huge walls. There's a 20 of right here, which is pretty impressive. And then it bombs out at 100, but it's going to take a long time before we see those price points unless this card gets unbanned, which it will. I promise you it will. And of course, there's a couple other cool versions. I want to say, I think it was Legendary Collections 3 or 4 saw the original secret rare print, or like the old school secret rare print, or alternative secret rare print, I should say, which is pretty cool too, which is faring a pretty nice price point as well. So it looks like it came out of both. So this is another card I talk about a lot, the parallel duplication. Legendary Collections 3 and 4 reprints some of the same cards and the same rarities. For time purposes, because my computer is being slow as a bag of cats, I'm just going to not even go into this. You can dip into these if you want. It looks like they're averaging about 12, 13 bones for those versions, which look very nice too. I would recommend, if you are going to go into this card, go for the Prismatic Secret Rare. It's kind of, it's definitely not at the price point it used to be by any means, but I think it's worth it. One, it's a game promo. It's Prismatic Secret Rare, like old school Prismatic Secret Rare, like not like Gold Sarco 2019 tins, which look fantastic, but it's just old, original Prismatic Secret Rare. And then, yeah, the other rares and stuff, they're just like overpriced and not really high rarity, so I wouldn't really worry about that. Heavy Storm is going to be the next card. This is another ban card. This is just the Trap Hole version, or Dark Hole version for Magic and Traps. This is amazing artwork. This is another Generation 1, super nostalgic, old school card, super awesome rarities. You have the Hobby League 2 version here, Gold Series 2008, which looks beautiful. It's one of my favorite rarities. Legendary Collections 2, 3, and 4 Ultra Rares, which are kind of whatever. But more so, I want to talk about is the original Metal Raider Super Rares, which I miss what's going on here. Here they are. So the Metal Raiders Super Rares, we're talking about Generation 1 nostalgia right here. This is the second core set ever to be released in the TCG realm for booster core sets, and this card is just fantastic. It's old. It's got really great artwork. It has just a devastating blowout of effect. I remember just like playing in fear against this card. I was siding the Huge Revolution is over, and like Starlight Road, and like everyone, just like Dark Brides, like everyone was just like in big fear of this. Like this card came out, and I think it was around the same time that BLS got unbanned, not came out, but came off the ban list as well, with like they comboed it with BLS, and it was just very devastating time, but really fun time in Yu-Gi-Oh! Unlimiteds aren't really anything. Only 3 pages left, so this is kind of like an all-time new to me for low quantities. I haven't really seen a whole lot. Quickly jumps to about 10 bones at the bottom of the second page, and we see the first editions on the third page dawning all the way up to 50 bones. It's incredible, ladies and gentlemen. But it's no surprise. Again, this card eventually is going to come off the ban list. I highly doubt that it's going to get an errata, because when it came off the list, it got banned again. It came on, came off, but it did not get errata. So I really don't think of this card. And plus, we have like, Harpies Feather Duster potentially, which is going to come off, and Regeki and Lightning Storm, and just all these great cards. So this card, and now in this day and age, is just really not overpowered to be errated, and I'm not surprised. Again, there's collectability in this and just amazing playability for this card. So there you go. First editions are 50 bones. Moving on, Swift Scarecrow. The only thing I'm really concerned about is the only one that's a hollow foil, which is the Astral Pack 4. All the other ones I'm pretty sure is just like either star foil or common or anything, just a bunch of garbage, not really a big deal. But Astral Pack 4 saw the dawning of the first hollow foil as a super rare. It looks very, very great. I picked up several of these. One, because I like messing around with little tedious burn decks, and this card is just fantastic for burn decks. It's like the ultimate protection, and it looks really cool, and it got a hollow print in this pack, and it's just really great. It has gone up quite a bit. I remember when I was picking these up, I think I want to say I was picking up for like maybe $1, maybe $1.50, And you can see now if you want to factor in shipping, they're about 3+ bones, and there's only 2 pages left of this. So it's a really cool card, and just a hand trap, so I had to feature it. DD Crow. Okay, so this is another great hand trap, definitely one of the more popular hand traps. Some amazing rarities. We have the Ultimate Rares, of course, which are really, really nice. Unfortunately, it's kind of a funny story. I remember I bought a whole bunch of special editions online trying to pull unlimited versions of these, and sadly, I think I opened up like 2 cases and got none. Got complete fat 0, and it was just really sad. So I ended up leaving the last case just sealed because I just lost so much money trying to pull this card Ultimate. It wasn't the best. White Mexican wasn't as good as his tactical choices with his investments back then. That was quite a long time ago. Anyway, Dual Terminal. So Dual Terminal 5. This is interesting. Is this really what's going on here? It looks like there's just really not a whole lot on the market. It looks like there's some pretty crazy price points going on with this version. So let's take a dip in here. Come and join me. The water is fine. This is the Dual Terminal 5 common. And there is only 4 listings left. And here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's $51 for Dual Terminal DD Crow. This is funny. This is way overpriced. No one's ever going to pay this. Like, this card was like, what, like $5-8? Not even that long ago. I reviewed this card, I think, like maybe a week ago. And this is obviously either a buyout or I don't really know, but this is crazy. Yeah, so $51 for Dual Terminal DD Crow. There you guys go. That's pretty insane. It's insane when people like try to like control the market on this. It's good, like good on them. You guys have it. You can kind of price it whatever you want. I don't think anyone in their right mind is gonna pay anywhere near that for. It's nice. I mean, it's Dual Terminal, but I mean, it's not a Dual Terminal Super. It's still a common, but it's nice because it's Dual Terminal, but come on, it's not like ultra rare Dual Terminal Barkion, Neteria Barkion. It's DD Crow. Like, let's get real, people. Anyway, ultra rares. You guys kind of know my stance. I love my hand traps and super rares, so really big fan of the Legendary Collection 2. That would be my first choice, and then the raw yellow mellow pack, raw yellow mega pack. I can never say that. It's pretty cool too. Obviously the Dual Terminal is unattainable right now until people start listing this, until they realize that it's $50 and no one wants to pay that, and they start flooding the market. So we'll see what happens with that. Moving on, Effect Veiler. First thing I want to say, Starlight Rare Effect Veiler, dawning out of Attorney Code. Most randomest choice ever. Like, what is Konami doing? Why did they choose Effect Veiler to be one of... Like, it's cool that they're just putting a random card in there that isn't originally from the set. Like, taking a really old card and putting in a new set. Like, that's cool. And, Effect Veiler is a really great hand trap, really popular hand trap, really well-played hand trap. And, it's got really cool artwork. But it's just, there's so many cool rarities already of this. Why not give the opportunity to a card that doesn't really have cool rarities? I just thought it was very strange at this time in Yu-Gi-Oh! In this era that they chose Effect Veiler. But anyway, ungodly expensive. I'm not into Starlight Rares, but that's just my personal take on it. If you guys like Starlight Rares, that's cool. Everyone likes what they likes. Ultra Rare, ungodly expensive, super, super awesome too. Ultra Rare first editions. These are probably like some of my favorites. Really quick, I want to take a look to see what the Ultra Rare original prints are looking at first editions. Now, for affordability purposes, these are my favorite versions. I really do like the Order of Chaos Special Edition Super Rares. Those are very, very nice too, and they're really cheap. They were cheap. I gotta look back and see. I don't know if there's been like an uptick in value for Effect Veiler or what, but these are very nice too. Like, besides the Ultimate Rares, I could care less about the Starlight Rare. I honestly think it's really dumb that they chose Effect Veiler. But Ultimate Rares are really nice. They're unattainable. They're really hard to get and they're really expensive, as they should be. They're amazing. But moving on here, so no first editions on the first page, or the first edition is gonna be about $11. So there's definitely pretty good value still in the Ultra Rares. We got one here for about 11, and then move on to the third page, and we get some more, and it's about pretty much 11 plus, all across the board, and then jumps down to 14. 4 pages of this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Super Rares, because For price-wise, yeah, I would go for this one. The ultra rare Duelist Revolution Ultra. But then again, so I'm kind of tied up because these are really nice because they're original prints, but the Duelist Saga ones are technically, in my opinion, are like a rarity upgrade because, you know, Duelist Saga has that special ultra rare foiling with like the waves in it, or like the laser beam lines. It looks pretty cool, and this set's like really awesome and unique because still to this day they've had all these ultra rare reprints like Dual Power, Dual Devastator, Dual Overload, or whatever, and they did not bring this rarity back, which is really disappointing. I feel like they would have, like they should have, but it's kind of cool because it makes Duelist Saga like more collectible and unique. But this is like $2. It's two plus, like it's, yeah, $2+ all across the board for this. I don't think Duelist Saga had a reprint run. I think they're all first editions because I've never really seen unlimited versions of Duso stuff. 5 pages of this, so I take it back. Honestly, this is incredible too. Duelist Saga on its own merit alone, just having its unique own ultra rare foiling, and this is literally $2. Like, this is insane. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of walls, you can't really stack up, but this is insane. This is really good. You guys need to pick these up. These have seen upticks all the way up to, I think, like $14 or so, and now they're already down to $2. So I would not be surprised if this card, and this is a very relevant card, you know, when it wants to be in the game. I would not be surprised if this jumps up in value too. This card being at $2 for the Duelist Saga version is incredible. Like, I would really recommend that you guys pick this up right now. I would get at least 3 of these if you can. Add it in on one of your cards. Try to find like a stack of 3 or more. But that's insane. Like, I think that is a really good. That's probably going to be the MVP, at least for Effect Veiler. I would definitely recommend you guys take a look at that. So 2 bones for this is really incredible. That definitely is going to go up in price, in my personal opinion. Where are the super rares? So here are the super rares. These are another nice choice too. I really do like my hand traps in super rare form, and this is always just a cheap alternative. I know a lot of people don't like super rares because it's kind of like bottom of the barrel on hollow foils, but I think this looks great and it's super cheap. It's like $1. It's like $1 plus about 2 bones. So I mean, obviously, with this being the same price point as the Duelist Saga, get the Duelist Saga ones, like, obviously, but I really don't think the Duelist Saga ones are going to last at $2 very long. I think people are going to scoop them up, and then there's going to be a more diverse price point, and then I think the super rares are going to be a good choice at that point. But right now, get the Duelist Saga ones. Moving on, Maxie. So this is another fantastic Forbidden Ban card. This is going to come off the list eventually, and I'm super excited about it. I think it's going to be really soon. People keep on wishing and wishing and wishing. All the lists come out. It's never on the list, but that is not breaking my spirit. I'm very optimistic about this card, and it is still true to my heart that this card is going to get unbanned. And I'm going to make a lot of money because I have first edition secret rares. I don't have the ultimate rare. This is ungodly expensive. Again, these ultimate rares are just like off the wall. It's like, who is paying, you know, half of $500 for an ultimate rare Maxie? Like, yeah, it looks good, but the first edition secret rares, original prints, look just as good to me. Like, I love ultimate rares. More so ultimate rares, like the old ultimate rares that came out of the core sets, because they come first edition, whereas the Astral Pack OTS ones, they don't have first edition, which is fine. They're just not available. But I gotta have the first edition stamp. Like, I'm just straight like that. Like, pretty much all my investments are first edition, and there's always just, anyway. But I'm not gonna go too far into this. So but honestly, my favorite is, I mean, granted, yes, I love the secret rare. It's pretty expensive. You guys can kind of dip into it. It is pretty expensive still, and people are just anticipating. Even the common, like about 5 bones. But I do always, once in a while, dip into the super rares because, I love my hand traps and super rares. I think super rares. Because another reason why I like hand traps and super rares is because when hand trap becomes popular and you need it in like a certain meta and you're playing it a lot, it's still cool and it looks nice because it's so hollow foil. It's too super rare, but it's just a super rare. So when you're playing it and like if it gets damaged or if you're kind of like rough with it, you're shuffling your deck or your opponent or whatever, like, it's not really a big deal. And that's why it's so important, I think, to have like these really expensive hand traps in lower rarities, but still nice rarities that you like and appreciate and you like to look at when you're like, you know, holding your deck and playing your cards and stuff. I think that's kind of where like the root comes from of why I like my hand traps in super rare. version for like protection and just kind of, you know, to have somewhat like, I guess, like a proxy to say, obviously it's like a real card, but like, you know, when you're playing your cards, like you don't have to worry about like, oh my god, like who's gonna play an ultimate rare Maxie? Like, come on, who's gonna pay literally a $250 ultimate rare Maxie in their deck? Like that's stupid. Like that's dumb. Like you play the first, like play the super rare, play the 2012 tin collector super rare promo. Like that's what you play in your deck. You don't play an ultimate rare or, I mean, I don't know. I kind of want to play a first edition secret rare, but it's stupid. Like these cards are so much money. Like why would you want to risk damaging it? Why not just play a super rare, which still looks very nice? I like to pick these up for about 5 bones. 5 to 4 bones is like kind of my price point for this card for the super rare. When it jumps down to that, I always pick them up because this card's gonna come off the list eventually. I don't know when, but it's coming, and you guys better be prepared because this is, in my opinion, the best hand trap that this game has ever seen. Draw power and turboing through your deck is literally like the most potent thing in this game, and getting to your resources and getting your plays off is like you need draw power, and this card is just blowout for that. Skull Meister. So this card is kind of goes up and down, up and down. Of course, there's the original secret rares from Star Strike Blast. I think this set was like short printed or something. I don't know. It always just seems like ungodly to get first edition versions of this card. So really quickly, let's go ahead and try to look at the original print secret rares. There's also a couple other versions there. But this is the secret, which looks really nice. Original print. Pretty interesting artwork. Don't really like this dude's face, but the skulls are pretty cool. And I think he's like sitting on like a throne thing. It's cool. Level 4 Fiend. Dark. Can you say Dark World material? This is awesome. Avid Dark World player, so it's got pretty cool stats for that. This card is $31. Starts off the market price for $31, goes to $35. Only 1 page left, and yeah, it is. It's a lot of money, but it's really not that good of a hand trap. Like it's okay, but like when we have stuff like Ash Blossom and Ghost Ogre and just like anything else, even Effect Veiler, like this isn't. It's just, I think that's collectability. It's old school secret rare Star Strike Blast, kind of hard to get. Really hard to get actually, but no one's gonna pay for this. Like, is anyone paying $30 for Skullmeister? Like, I'm not. Like, it's not good enough for $30. Like, it looks nice. It's Star Strike Blast. It's secret rare, but I mean, why don't you just play the super rares? Where are the super? Yeah, the super rares. The Code of the Duelist super rares, which are super cheap. They're like under $1, and there's crap common that no one really cares about. But yeah, it's like $30. Or like $1, $30 or $1. I mean, you're gonna like try to experiment with this card and then realize it sucks, and then you're gonna take it out anyway. So that's my brutal truth on that. Okay, so Battle Fader is gonna be next. There's the Ultimate Rares, which are just amazing. They're pretty expensive, more so for the all first edition print. So I'm not really gonna go into that. Secret Rares are my personal favorite. They're really great too. There's the Dual Terminal 6 ones, which are really great too. Which I want a Dual Saga, which are really great. There's so many amazing versions of this. Really quick, I'm going to dip into the secret rares. I want to see what the first edition secret rares look like because I love secret rares and they look so fantastic. And then I'm going to showcase the dual terminals because dual sagas are nice, but I would definitely say that the secret rares and the dual terminals would definitely trump the Duelist Saga ones. It's about $7 and then jumps to about $8. So 7, 8. Yeah, it's about $8 all across both first edition. Only 2 pages left of this. So it's kind of at the point where it's like expensive enough to be like uncomfortable buy, but at the same time you're like, oh, but like it's still kind of. But I mean, I would just wait. Honestly, it's at a point where I wouldn't really buy it. I bought the card, or maybe it was the dual terminal ones I bought. I'm not really sure. I know I have several versions of Battle Fader. I love Battle Fader, but $8. You know, it's nice. It's secret rare. It's first edition, but still $8. Like, no, like it's not good enough for that yet. There isn't like some crazy combo or like some game-changing thing that you can do with a secret rare Battle Fader yet. So I'll kind of pass on that. Wait for it to go down. It definitely will go down eventually. But even more so, get yourself a Dual Terminal 6. These look like they're significantly cheaper. I mean, granted, it's not a secret rare, but it is still dual terminal. Dual terminals went bye-bye. They are no longer being manufactured, and this has definitely great collectability on that, its own merit alone, just for that. So let's go ahead and take a look at the price point for these. This is gonna load, and they're like $1. They're like $1 all across the board. Look at that. Here's a 15 of by Big City Cards, and you can get free shipping and just bulk up. And there is 3 pages left. So MVP, hands down. If you're gonna get Battle Fader, forget the Ultimate Rare, forget the Secret Rare, spend $1 and get yourself a dual Terminal 1 because this is another great rarity. Alright, so Frame Gear Gamma. Really not familiar with this card. This card gets played against me all the time, and it's super annoying because it like negates and then destroys, and then I special summon that one vanilla guy. And this is a really good hand trap. I've just never really kind of researched this deck. What I don't like about this card, I mean, when you play it off, it's pretty devastating. It's blowout, and it does its job well. What I don't like is how you have to like play the other like spy stuff, like the archetype stuff, the psychic stuff with to like, you know, play the effect or whatever. This card's just really expensive though. I mean, like even the super rares, it's like about 10. Then you have the original ultra rares, which are like 15 or whatever. I'm really not gonna dip too far into this because I'm not a big fan of this. Just because you have to play extra cards, you have to take spaces out of your deck, like your core deck, for this card. So, but I mean, it's expensive, so people must be using it. But I wouldn't pay the money for it personally. All right, next, Ghost, Reaper, and Winter Cherries. This is probably my favorite artwork, specifically for the Ghost Girls. I like all the Ghost Girls. I think their artwork is fantastic. I've done several different videos of coverage specifically on these cards. Now, I know these cards are really like mainstream. People talk about these all the time. More specifically, Ash Blossom, because still to the date, that's one of the greatest hand traps that the game has seen ever. It's so diverse. But this card, everyone kind of, no one really like talks about Ghost Reaper. It never really gets the spotlight. And the original prints are done from Shining Victories, which was a really big Blue Eyes support deck, and I can't remember if it was Breaker's Shadow. If I remember correctly, I want to believe that Shining Victories was a transition set, because this set, I want to say, was the first set where we started getting a super rare, at least a super rare foil, in every booster pack. So if I'm remembering correctly, this definitely merits to be a transitioning set because they changed the ratios and they kind of changed how they put the holo prints in the booster packs. So 1, that makes this set super special. 2, it's a Blue Eyes support set. There's a lot of Blue Eyes player out there. Blue Eyes is really big with, you know, Kaiba in the anime, and it's just Ghost Ogre was Cross Souls, which was before this, because that was still, we were still getting all the Ghost Rares and Ultra Rares and stuff in that set. So it wasn't the first Ghost Girl, but I believe it was the second, and the artwork is just fantastic. I love the artwork in this. I love her hair. I love the little scythe. I love the flower blossoms, and it's fantastic. Its effect isn't the best, but the reason why I want to talk about this card and why it's my favorite Ghost Girl is because it's always cheap. Like, it's always cheap, and it has, I think it has, all the Ghost Girls have great collectability because they're big, like, you know, cutesy girls anime cards, but they always kind of go in and out of the meta, more specifically Ghost Ogre and Ash Blossom, because they're some of the stronger ones, but they're all just great. For the first edition original prints, there's great collectability, and kind of like, you know, Dark Magician Girl and Injection Fairy Lily and all these like really dominant female-based cards, they're gonna be collector's cards. Like, I promise you. When it's cool, it's kind of like a set, because, you know, every couple sets we get a new Ghost Girl, and it's kind of a new thing, and everyone gets excited about it, and it's just a cool thing. And to look back and you have like, oh man, like you have the second one, the first one, the third one, and they're just gonna get older and older and older. And again, the collectability is gonna be in the original Secret Rare first editions. So I usually pick these up for about $5, kind of like Super Rare Maxie. My price point, my threshold for this card is about $4. And it doesn't really look like we're probably going to find any first editions for that price. It's gone up. It's seen some value increase. The first edition goes all the way up to almost $12 to start off with first editions. So it's already seeing an increase in value, which I knew it would. Because although this may not be the most playable hand trap, its artwork is just fantastic. And it's going to be a collector's card because Shining Victories is getting up there in age. And, you know, it's first edition. And, you know, and my whole spiel, I'll just give you my whole spiel. spiel on why I think that that's going to be such a great collector's card, as well as all of the Ghost Girls. I don't know why this is taking so long to... But anyway, that's it. That's the only print. The original first edition Secret Rares, those are the ones that are going to hold the collector's value. Moving on, Ghost Belt and Haunted Mansion. So this card, for the longest time, it kind of took a while for this card to get reprinted. Dual Power was when it got reprinted, and it kind of took forever for that set to come out because Flames of Destruction came out quite a bit longer than that. So for the longest time, this is a solo print. Obviously, it's not a solo print anymore. Now, this card is pretty diverse, too. I'm not going to lie. Everyone plays, Ghost Ogre and Ash Blossom, as they should. They're great cards. But I would definitely say this is the run-up for the third place spot. This card's really cool. It's got a cool little pimp hat. This old school like Duchess dress. She's in a mansion. She's all rich. She's like balling, living life, all that good stuff. But this is just great collector's card. On its artwork alone, and just as time goes on, you can already see the first editions are already up to 19-ish, $20. Only 3 pages left, so this is already hitting the collector's market. And Flames of Destruction was not that long ago. Spooky Dogwood. Okay, so Dark Neostorm. So this card is still pretty attainable. I don't think this has reached the point of where it's kind of got to a point where it's uncomfortable buy for price point wise. This has just great artwork too. Now it's no Winter Cherries, but still I really like the artwork in this. I love the artwork in all of these cards. And again, the collectability, the opportunity for price increase and value increase for collectability is there. Let's go ahead and dig out some first edition versions. First edition is going to be about 7.5. That jumps to about 8. And so yeah, it's about 8. It's about 8 bones roughly. About 5 pages left, so definitely plenty down the market available. $8 for this card. I'm going to say it's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I actually run this card. I side it at 3 in my Atlantean Mermail builds. I love water decks. And maybe just being a little biased because this is like the water hand trap Ghost Girl. But $8 for this card, it's going to grow. I promise you it's going to grow. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of stacks. And I have several prints of this myself, and I'm thinking I want to buy more because I know this is going to increase. I know it's going to go up in value, and I'm telling you guys that you get these cards. $8 is a very fair price for this. Give it a couple years, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if this goes to about 20 to 30, and I would say maybe like 2 years. For these original prints, have to be first edition. And then jumps to about 10 bones. So, yeah, this is just just another great choice for artwork, collectability, and just, and it's got a pretty good effect, too. I really do like the effect. Moving on. Okay, so Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, Ultra Rare, super nice, too. I think I have 1 copy of this. But I think I have 2 or 3 copies of the original Secret Rares. This card has always been expensive. I don't remember there not being a time when this card was always expensive, even for like the Unlimiteds. But if you're gonna go and you're gonna get the Secret Rare version, and this, okay, so I gotta correct myself. I changed my mind. I forgot about what this card looks like. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is the most badass Ghost Girl when it comes to artwork. Like, this is like a samurai. She's got katana. She's got like demon thorns, just like little like ghost souls flying around. The artwork is just incredible. Like, I get so excited about this card just because of how amazing it looks, and it's such a but it's expensive, and it's been expensive forever. But when its own right, it's a very playable card, really great hand trap. It's a secret rare. Cross Souls, one of the last sets that that we got ultimate rares and ghosts and all that stuff before they changed up the ratios for the packs. Unlimited by themselves start off at 23, which is incredible. Moving on, no first editions on the first 2 pages. First edition we get on the 3rd page is 33, which still, or 32 here for a 2 of, which is like, I don't know, like 32. It's a lot of money. It really is. Like, to spend $64 on 2 copies of this card for first edition, it's like, man, that's a lot of money. But if we look at like first edition Ash Blossom, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, like, it's really not that bad. It's going to go up. And, like, that's the crazy thing. Like, people look at this and they're like, oh, man, like, because, like, even me, too, like, $32, like, because there's so many other, like, really good prints of this. Like, I personally like the super rare versions. You know, call me crazy. I say it all the time, but I like my hand traps and super rare. But anyway, $32. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not gonna stay like that. Like, I'm telling you guys, it's not gonna stay like that. There is such great collectability potential in this card, and it's getting older and older and older, and it's just gonna increase in value. Really quick, I don't like the ultra rares. I'm not gonna lie. I just want to take a look at the super rares from the 2016 Mega Tin promos. I don't know why. Again, well, I know why. I told you guys. Like, I like playing my hand traps in super because, you know, if they get fucked up when you're playing, like, you know, it's whatever. It's just a super rare, and you know, you gotta have your hand traps. They come in and out of the game. You know, they change up. They change with the season. So. And they still look cool. I like super rares. I respect super rares. We gotta respect the super rares. It was the first level of hollow foils that we got. Anyway, they're about $3. So for the longest time, I remember these cards were like 14, 8, 10. So they've definitely decreased in value with the ultra rare reprints. But this is still a really great, healthy alternative. Moving on, I believe the next one is gonna be Ash Blossom. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. So the infamous, the legendary card is just amazing. Several different prints now. Of course, this is the original first edition, original print, dawning from Maximum Crisis. People went insane over this card. When the 2018 Megatins came out, I was so pissed because I bought cases. I think I bought like 3 or 4 cases off eBay as pre-sale. Because I wanted this card. I wanted the secret rare reprint of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. And I was pissed because Konami schooled me and did not put them in the 2018 Megatins, which is one of the worst Megatins we've like ever had. It was so bad. I was really pissed. But anyway, you know, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know, you gotta take risks. Anyway, look at the Unlimiteds themselves. Are $41 to start off the market price. Only 2 pages of the original print of this card, and the first editions come in at a whopping $65. Quickly move to $70, and then bottom out at almost about $90. So there you go, incredible. You know, this card's price point is always going to fluctuate, but again, it's got great playability, amazing artwork, and it's a really high rarity. You know, secret rare first edition, and it's just got great collectability and playability. One of the most powerful trap cards, hand traps in the game. Right up there. I mean, like, right behind Maxie, I would say. And there's a plethora of other versions. I don't really like the alternate art versions of these, of the hand traps, but I would say my second runner-up to the super rare would be, of course, the super rare dawning from Shadows in Valhalla. Looks like these are around 10 bones, which is kind of crazy because I think like the Soul Burner commons are like almost like the same price, which is like stupid. Like, why the hell would you pay the same amount of money for a common when you can get a super rare? Like, it's like, how does that work out? Like, you gotta have some fluctuation there. So yeah, these are about 9-ish, 10-ish bones, and surprisingly enough, there's only 2 pages of this. So I don't know who's buying super rare Ash Blossoms, because Shadows in Valhalla was a heavily open set. That like everyone was going like bananas for that set when it came out. Really quick before I leave this tab, I want to do a price comparison from the supers to the commons. 'Cause the last time I looked at this card, the commons were like pretty much the same price point as the super rares. And again, like Soul Burner, not Soul Boner, Soul Burner commons are, what did he say the super rares? The super rares were like around $9. Let's wait for this archaic 1945 computer to load. Oh, okay, so the commons are more the commons are more than the supers. Like, what is going on? Like, this is crazy. There's even more on the market too. Like, Soul Burner is not that old. Like, it came out last year. Like, it's not that old of a structure deck. But why are the commons This is crazy. Like, what is going on here? Why are the commons the same price point, if not more expensive than the supers? You know what? I'm done. I gotta move on. Like, this is crazy. All right, so Eternity Code saw the dawning of a new Ghost Girl hand trap, Ghost Mourner, and Moonlit Chill. Really cool name. I love the name. Artwork is kind of like, it's not the greatest. It's really not. I like the moon here. It's pretty cool. Other than that, this whole get up and I don't know. This definitely does not take the cake when it comes to artwork. Obviously, these are some I guess, are we still in pre-order prices or whatever? This is not worth it. $30 for this. Now, I think this just being a Ghost Girl card over time, not right now, over time eventually, you know, when Eternity Code gets older, this is going to see some price increase because of collectability value. But honestly, I'm really disappointed in this card because why not just play Effect Veiler? Yeah, you got the burn effect, the potential burn effect at the bottom here, but like, why not play Effect Veiler? Like, Effect Veiler's a light, level 1, it's a tuner 2. And like I don't know, like this card is not creative at all. Like, we have Effect Veiler. Why would you give this card this effect? Like, Effect Veiler does the same thing. Like, Konami, I'm very disappointed. Sometimes you guys make some really great decisions. That definitely wasn't one of them. But moving on here, Red Blossoms from Underroot. I don't know how I feel about this card. So this is a solo print coming out of Dual Devastator. And I don't really know. Like, I like the scythe, I like the tree, but other than that, like, is this a skull? Maybe this is a skull. If it's a skull, it's pretty badass. Artwork is okay. It's pretty cool. But then again, it's an ultra rare. Like, why? I don't know. It's like they tried to make this a Ghost Girl, like, unofficially, but then it's not in the name, so it's like not there. I know in Japan it was called Blood Blossom. Blood Blossom was part of its name. I thought that would have been such like a more badass name. That's a lot cooler. This card's super cheap, not even $1, 5+ pages. I guess the removal effect is pretty cool because you can remove cards, magic, and traps, not a pop-off effects. But other than that, the whole Monster Reborn effect is not very impressive. But I don't know. I always associate this card with the Ghost Girls, even though it's not secret and it doesn't have the Ghost Girl in its title. But I just wanted to feature that really quick. Next card is going to be Drill and Lockeford. So I talked about Maxie and Ash Blossom being some of the most powerful hand traps that we've seen to date. This is definitely right up in there. I would say this card kind of ties up with Ash Blossom. Right under Maxie is just such a blowout card. Very devastating. Of course, there's the Ultimate Rares, which are really expensive. I'm not really going to go into those. And more so specifically, I like the Super Rares. The price always kind of fluctuates for this card. It fluctuates from like around 10 to 20 from what I can remember. I'm personally waiting for secret rare prints. I think this card is going to get a secret rare print eventually. It's bound to get a secret rare print. And I love secret rare. And when it first comes out, it's probably going to come from some reprint set. And it's going to be really cheap. Significantly cheap. Depending on, you know, different contributing factors. But this is an amazing hand trap. Right now, the Super is my personal favorite. I would much rather have this than even the Ultimate Rare. I know it sounds crazy, but the Ultimate Rare, it's so expensive. And again, I like my hand traps in Super Rare. And it's an OTS Super Rare, so it's harder to get, and it's just cool, and it looks good. And if this was cheaper, I would definitely buy Supers, because like I respect that it's an OTS Super. I know it's on merit alone, that's pretty cool, but these are like, yeah, 11 bones, and they jump up to like 13, 3 pages left of that. So it's not really there yet. I'd much rather just wait for a secret rare reprint right now. Artifact Lancia. This is didn't really know. I knew about this card, but I didn't really knew what it did because I never really played any kind of artifact engine or anything. But there's a secret rare from Battles of Legend, which is a couple bones, so maybe want to take a look at that. It's pretty cool. Everything else is just like, you know, common and ultra, so this would definitely be the way to go. I'm not going to dip too far into that because I'm not a really big fan of the artifact stuff, but it's pretty popular here and there. So moving on to the last couple tabs here. Nibiru, the Primal Being. Everyone knows about this. This is one of the tin promos from the Gold Sarko tins. This is always hold great value. This is just an amazing card in general. I always have like kind of like mixed ties to play this or to play Sphere mode. because they kind of do the same thing in a way. There's like just you play them in different situations. But like Sphere Mode was like the Generation 1. I think it was probably like the drawing board to Konami creating Nibiru. So it's kind of up to you which one you want to play. They're both very, very good. Nibiru is just more expensive. It's, you know, $14. It starts off at $14 and goes up to about 15. And there's five pages. This is a prismatic secret rare, so it's gorgeous. It's a solo print also. Duelist Wing Dragon of Raw Sphere Mode. We have all ultra rare prints, I believe. Now this is a super rare print from the special edition, Circuit Breaker special edition. So I don't really know. Like, I guess, again, I invested heavily in dual power, so this was actually really hard to pull. I think I got 3 cases. No, I think I got more. I got tons of cases of dual power. And I only pulled a couple of these, as well as evenly matched. I didn't get too many evenly matched anyway, so I think they were like, you know, so-called short printed or whatever. But really don't like the rarities in these. It's a great card. Amazing side card. Just don't really like any of the rarities, really. Even the super rare. Like, sometimes I really do appreciate super rare hand traps, but I don't know. I'm just not really feeling this one. Kaijus. So, Kaijus are really great. It's kind of funny how this Raiden is... It doesn't even have a hollow foil print. It's just rares, and it's like $7+ for this card. So, if you guys have this, I would sell the crap out of this. It's insane. That's holding this high of a price point for just a rare. Gameciel, of course, is like everyone's favorite because it's a 1-for-1, and it's a water. And I hate turtles. I think turtles are disgusting. Like, they're like the most ugliest animals on planet Earth. But I kind of just pretend that this is more like of a Godzilla dragon thing because of all the helicopters and all the chaos going out here, or like a sea monster or something. So I just pretend that's not a turtle, and I'm okay with this card. And it's cool. I like to run this in my Mermail Atlantean because it's a water and it's a hand trap, and, you know, it's a simple 1-for-1. It's pretty good stuff. But all across the board, I think all the Kaiju stuff is fantastic. And these are just great cards, so you guys should take a look at them. There is a super rare version of Gameciel, which is right here, which is pretty cool too. But of course, you know, the secret rares are just going to be, even though these ones are from OTS, you know, it makes them a little more rare. You know, I would just, you know, it's a little more money, but go for the secret rares. They look a lot nicer. Lava Golem, one of the Generation 1 classic hand traps. I love this card. Also a burn card, also level 8, also a 3000 beater. Amazing artwork. This was one of my favorite cards coming out of Generation 1, Pharaonic Guardian. Amazing. Let's go ahead and look at the original print, first editions. They were going for quite a good amount of money the last time I reviewed this card, so let's see if they've gone up and down. I think the last time I saw these, I think they were like, they started out like hitting like 14, 15, and I think they went all the way up to like 25, and now they're about 22. We got our first edition here for about 22. Going to the second page, they're again about 22, and so they stayed about the same. Probably decreased a little bit, but they stayed the same. But after those 4 are gone, or those listings, it goes all the way up to 35, and then just keeps on growing in value after that. So only 3 pages. So definitely a collector's card. Amazing artwork. Again, Generation 1 nostalgic card. Great stats. Level 8, 3000 beater. Amazing artwork. It's got a lot going for this card. And, of course, we have the super rare Dual Terminal 3, which is also a very great alternative to the original first edition secrets. This has gone up a lot. So, yeah, $13 starts the market price. There's only 1 page of this, and then it doubles all the way down to 20+. So, this card is washing up on the market pretty quickly. Next is going to be Gore's Emissary of Darkness. I reviewed this a couple days ago, so I'm not going to go too in-depth with that. If you guys haven't noticed, the Ghost Gold versions have skyrocketed in price, as well as all the other Ghost Golds from Haunted Mine. And there's some also healthy alternatives, though. Like, there's the secret rare promos from Dark Legends and or is it Retro Pack? I don't know if that Retro Pack was Anyway, there's several different secret rare versions. Or I guess 2. Anyway, I would go for the secret rare versions. There's the manga promo, which is pretty cool, but I like the secret rare versions, and they're relatively still cheap. This is just an old school hand trap card, and back in the day, it used to like strike fear in people's hearts. You know, they didn't want to attack directly because this was like kind of like the evenly matched back in the day, but still really old nostalgic card, and I think it definitely has potential to see play again sometime in the life of Yu-Gi-Oh! Infinite Permanence. This is just again, I just had it features because I wanted to kind of go through hand traps. I didn't know this, but I just found out that Dual Overload saw the dawning of the Ultra reprint, so I thought that was pretty cool, making it a little bit more available on the market, pretty much matching the same price as the Dual Power one. This was ungodly hard to pull in Dual Power. I bought cases and cases and cases of Dual Power, and I think I barely got like, I don't even think I got 9 copies of this. This was definitely the hardest card to pull in Dual Power. Secret Rares, you know, amazing looking, always holding great value, and of course evenly matched. I play 3 evenly matched in almost every single build that I play. This is just a great just blowout game changer. I really recommend that you guys get these. More specifically, they're all expensive all across the board, but my top choice would be the 2018 Megatins. But I would check these because, again, check to if the original prints are not in a significant variant in price difference. Just pay a couple extra dollars and get the original prints, first editions, of course. Thank you so much for watching these videos. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. This has been a showcasing by The White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.